Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 14 of the Oblivion Oath. I want to thank you all for tuning in and watching another fantastic episode. I've got just a couple announcements before we get started. First off, we're going to be off next week. Next Thursday is August 1st. That is the first day of Gen Con and the official release of Pathfinder 2nd Edition. So all of these crazy rules that we've been, enjoying and occasionally messing up over the past few months, now you'll be able to call us on it. So that's great. No, but we're looking forward to it. If you're not going to be at Gen Con, make sure to stop by your favorite local game store or order it online from Paizo.com. We'll get those books out to you ASAP so that you can enjoy Pathfinder 2nd Edition just like we have been. So that's the first announcement. Next announcement, tomorrow at 1 p.m., I'm going to be back here on the Paizo Twitch channel talking about Pathfinder 2nd Edition, the launch, talking about what it is to be a game master for Pathfinder 2nd Edition, giving you some clues and insight onto all of that. Should be a lot of fun. I'm going to be talking a bit about my new adventure, the Fall of Plague Stone, as well. So tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific time here on the Paizo channel. Finally, I want to encourage you all to tune in on Tuesday, the 30th, July 30th, starting at 4 p.m. Pacific time for the debut episode of the Knights of Everflame. It's a brand new series that we created in partnership with the fine folks from Geek and Sundry. You will find that on the Geek and Sundry channel here on Twitch, and a little bit after that, it'll be on the Geek and Sundry YouTube. There'll be plenty of ways for you to watch it. So, but please make sure to turn in live if you're at home on Tuesday and you're itching for some fun Pathfinder adventure. The Geek and Sundry Twitch channel is where you're going to find it. All right. I think that's all I have for announcements. So we're just going to pick up with our game. When we last left our intrepid band of adventurers, the group of you had escaped Razmaran. You've been through a lot of trials and tribulations over the past several weeks now, from a barge that burnt to the waterline to a gifted key. Yeah, I'm going to put quotes around gifted. It was a present, but one that you can't give back. So the key, and from there you found yourself in the capital of Razmaran, the city of Thronestep. This place turned out to be not at all what you were hoping it was going to be. It was not the peace and prosperity that was promised. Instead, it seemed like a lot of cultists desperately trying to force you to join their faith. Wanting nothing to do with that, you escaped through the sewers after defeating an ambush therein and made your way out into the countryside. That journey has been fraught with peril as you are being chased by the Herald of Razmir, Vokar, and his hunting hounds as they are chasing you across the countryside. However, through your journeys, you met up with a halfling ranger by the name of Dranzior, who offered to help you. Well, actually, he demanded to help you to get you out of his wood. And
most kind.
He led you through the wood to a small town called Deadgoat. There, in Deadgoat, you found respite with Mother Olinari, a priestess, a former priestess, a hidden priestess of Aristil, who was hiding out in the town and offered to hide you from the chasing priests. You were secreted away in a small crypt beneath the church, the old church, now serving as a barn of sorts, and the pursuing priests pass you by. However, later that night, the key started acting up, started to glow a bit, was very cold at your side, and you found that in the graveyard just outside, the earth began to tumble and the dead rose up from their ancient graves. Unfortunately, this battle, although you did succeed, although you were successful in defeating the undead, it came at a terrible, terrible price. Quandle, your loyal friend and companion, passed away. And as he did so, his body crumbled to dust, just like the knight who gave you the key. Troubling times.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, I'm sure that's just a coincidence. Mm-hmm. Bodies just randomly collapse to ash when they die. That happens all the time.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. So from there, Mother Olinari obviously was very concerned about this, worried that your presence here might stir up more of the dead, and she offered to take you outside of town to hide you. She also said that she was reaching out to a friend of hers, a traveler, who might be able to secret you out of the country. But it would take time to contact him and for him to arrive. Until then, she thought it might be best to hide you in a nearby farm. But before you were taken there, a small service was held for Quendel as you buried his ashes and laid your friend to rest. The next day, after the local Rasmirian cultists in town were nice and drunk and passed out, you were spirited away to the farm of one Griggan Rathben, who welcomed you into his shack. Introduced you to his dog. Ugh, this is my dog, Lassie. Very Lassie dog. And he brought you into his house and gladly took you in and offered to hide you in the caves where his farm was located. And you quickly came to realize that good old Farmer Rathben was a mushroom farmer. And the caves in the hillside beneath his house is where he grew his crop. Ugh. Going to take you back. Hide you in one of the caves back there. Don't worry. Don't worry, he said. The priests, they never swing by here, so they're not much of one for mushrooms. So I believe that is where we left off, was with him taking you to your cave and leaving you to your rest. And I believe we just kind of ended with a nice, quiet, peaceful evening.
The phrase "taking you to your cave" is not as comforting as it.
Yeah, no, as it turns out, but it's a very nice cave.
It's a good cave.
So you're escorted back to this cave, and we'll pick up right there. The evening has passed. It is now the next morning, and you're all awoken by the gentle sound of a bell, kind of a ding 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 ding. And you hear, "Oh, sorry, I didn't want to wake you. I did want to wake you, but I didn't want to surprise you, so I thought I might ring a little bell and let you know that I was coming, just in case you weren't proper. I wouldn't want to intrude. It is your cave." As he kind of leans around one of the pillars of rock, looking into your cave. I've brought breakfast.
Oh,
I was wondering if you might want some.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
Zell is naked, but it doesn't really matter. So
he's like, I see you're all dressed. He doesn't even notice.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I made this, and he has like a cast iron skillet, in which he has clearly made like a giant mushroom like egg souffle of sorts. It actually looks rather good. The fragrant smell of mushrooms is wafting through the cave. The butter is still sizzling a little on the edges.
Ooh.
And he's like, and he's got a big oven mitt on. It's this big, ridiculous oven mitt.
Is it mushroom shaped? Does the oven mitt look like a mushroom?
No, it doesn't. No, he's not that cute. It does look like one that was. It looks like the type of glove you would wear if you were like working a forge, though.
Oh.
It's like a big giant forge glove, but he's using it to hold his cast iron skillet.
I kind of want him to be wearing like an apron that says like "Kiss the Chef" or something like that.
No. He's wearing an apron, but once again, it looks like a forge apron. It looks
fair.
like he was forging you some breakfast. He's like, here, let me put it down for you. And he walks into the room, and he gets not 2 steps in. And this is a cast iron skillet, to be clear. The handle snaps.
Oh no!
No.
Our breakfast.
And it falls. The pan of it falls, and you can still hear the sizzling butter as it falls and flips and lands.
Reflex save.
Omelet
wanna
down
grab that.
in a puddle.
No.
Looks burn my freaking
I was gonna
hands off.
say, yeah, you could try and catch it, but then you'd be like, and then just drop it. Well, what?
He's like, oh.
How heavy were those mushrooms?
He's like, he's looking at the handle of his pan, and he's just like, ugh. I'm sorry. I've got some muffins back in the house if you'd like one.
Okay.
Zell will start eating the eggs.
He flips it over. He's like, it's a bit briny. It's to be honest, it's still mostly good. I mean, it's oddly salty now because of the like briny cave water, from like all the like minerals in it. Like
it's better than those kebabs I had.
It's like kebabs
in Razmir.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't be eating anything in there. Yeah.
Have you been there before?
Oh, I visited once or twice. Yeah, not quite to my taste. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be eating any meat, though. Do you see any cows there? I didn't.
They told him it was lamb.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't have any of that. Well, sorry about your breakfast. Here, we can take you into the house, and I can feed you.
That was very kind of you to make it, though. It looked... Is it good?
It's compared to what we have been eating, yes.
All right.
Yeah, comparatively, it's fantastic. But, yeah, I mean, it's still...
The ham was better.
Soggy. No, the ham was great. That's true.
The ham was
That's
good.
some fresh ham. Okay, well, muffins it is.
I'm
not going to be picky.
Zell will put on pants.
So, he leads you back to the house. And you kind of go back through the caves, and you know what? Can all of you give me a?
No.
Can all of you give me a? We'll just call it a will save.
Will save.
No particular reason.
That's not suspicious.
Well, I rolled a 1, so 8.
Oh, all right.
Hang on.
I rolled an 8, so 15.
Okay.
I need to stop eating strange things.
Why am I not finding where my will save is?
There
we go. Duh. Yeah, I know.
Right under saving throws.
Hello. 16.
16. All right. So you're all making your way back to the house, and to get up out of the cave, there's a bit of a climb up a set of old wooden stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And Rathbun makes his way straight up, and Mikah, you're kind of right behind him. But Zell and Carina, the two of you are making your way up the stairs, and all of a sudden, like one of the runners on one of the sides just snaps and breaks, and a bunch of the stair treads snap, like they're rotted, like on that side or something, and the whole thing kind of collapsed. Can both of you give me either acrobatics checks, if you like, or a reflex save? I'm gonna leave that up to you.
Reflex is definitely better for me, so I'm gonna go with that.
Same. So they're both the same.
It's a 9, so 13.
15?
You both got a 15.
Yeah.
All right.
I rolled a 5 with plus
No, I
10.
got a 13.
Oh, you got a 13.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, I missed that. Can both of you roll again?
Whew.
I'm curious why there was a will save.
Yeah,
For broken stairs is concerning. Nuts. It's gonna be a 7.
18?
Okay. Zell, you managed to. You're in front, and it's your foot that kind of snaps it, but you managed to kind of hop to the stair next to it. Carina, you like almost had your footing, but then it slips and falls, and you tumble back down the stairs.
Okay.
Carina?
Take 4 points of damage.
Ouch.
As you land in a broken tumble of snapped boards and like jagged stone.
Oof.
Carina, are you okay?
And Rathbun looks back and he's like, "Ah! Oh! What in blazes?" He's like, "Oh! I'm sorry. I've been meaning to upkeep that, but I was making some boards the other day and my saw broke, so I haven't been able to fix it just yet. Sorry about that. No, here. He
Not up to OSHA standards.
He like helps you." He's trying to help you up on the side because there is a bit of a natural staircase. It's just a little slippery. And he's like, "Oh, I here," and he's trying to help you out, and he manages to kind of help navigate you up. And he's like, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry."
Is the key glowing?
No.
No. Okay.
I was like, I don't know.
I blame everything on this key now.
You take a look at it and you're like, "No, it's fine."
It's just laughing at us.
Has everything been going okay at your mushroom farm lately?
Well, like I said, it's been It's been a bit of a rough year. The last crop didn't turn out so well, it turns out. Some of me water ended up with a bit too much of some bad minerals in it, and some of me mushrooms didn't turn out too well. And then I was trying to water it, and me bucket broke, and I've just had a run of bad luck. Tis all. Just some bad luck.
Did you anger any sort of hermit or a traveling person?
I mean, I am kind of a hermit, but I don't.
Are you mad?
I haven't angered myself, if that's what you're wondering.
What?
I mean, I'm not exactly pleased with my recent crop, but I have no one to blame but myself.
Oh, we need to help him out.
How? Like, all his stuff is broken.
I mean, with
I
his
mean-
confidence.
Well, let's
Well.
start with muffins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Muffins are a good start.
Fair enough. So you go back up, and he goes over and grabs a basket that he has that's on the table,
Oh, no.
and it's got just a cloth over it, and he kind
gonna
of sets it
explode.
down, and he pulls off the cloth, and he's like, "What in blazes?" And he looks down, and the muffins are like all of the like they're just like there's nothing left in there but like crumbs and a couple little chunks of muffin. And he looks over at Lassie, and he's like, "Lassie, no! Oh, this is not appropriate."
But she put the cloth back over it after she was done eating it?
He stops, and he's like, "Ugh, that's a good point."
I'm not even mad.
No,
That's
now-
impressive.
I mean, clearly the dog ate them, but now I'm beginning to think that maybe Lassie's smarter than I thought.
Do you think you might be cursed?
Why would you say that?
Well, everything is breaking.
He's like, "That's not true." And he sits down in a chair that collapses, and now he's on the floor. And from the floor, he's just like, "Okay, you might have a point."
How do we tell? I mean, other than the pretty obvious everything's breaking.
He's like, I don't know. Such things are beyond me. I'm just a simple farmer. But I tell you this, I do know how to get rid of a curse. It's a skill of mine. We just need to pray to the earth spirits, and they will protect us. That's what me pa always said.
Okay.
Of course, he did fall down a well and die, but he was a good man.
It's harsh.
He's a good man.
I'm sorry.
He knew his thing. Oh, it was a long time ago. Don't feel bad. He was an old dwarf. It was his time.
Okay.
But anyway. So I mean, I'll pray to the rocks. It'll be fine in the morning. Don't trouble yourself.
Okay.
You've had enough troubles. And he's like, I don't. Would you like some mushrooms for breakfast?
Yeah.
Sure.
He
We can make more eggs.
he's like, I would, but that was the last one. I have to wait till tomorrow and get the see if the hens have laid a few more.
Okay.
But don't worry, I've got plenty of butter, and we can fry up some mushrooms for you. And I've got a few other vegetables as well. We'll make a bit of a fry. He goes and begins preparing breakfast, leaving the group of you to kind of hang out.
Okay.
So it sounds like this curse has been with him for a while. If his dad
at
fell
least-
down a
oh.
well.
Maybe.
Maybe.
At least
That
the
could have
last
just
year.
been clumsiness.
That's
But,
Yeah.
true. Although, I mean, have you seen a dwarf? Like, a well's kind of high, and, I mean, you guys are a little bit shorter, or you all are a little bit
I don't.
shorter compared to us, Eruxy,
You
falling
know-
down a well.
You're the tallest one here. so-
Yeah.
It's very likely that it's a dwarven well, which would be appropriately sized.
That's a good point. Zell didn't think of that with his intelligence of 10.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah,
Whatever.
no, that makes sense. A few moments go past, and
Anything about curses?
Rathbun comes back with his fried vegetables, and he's like, "They're a bit burned, but here you go." And he kind of puts them on a plate, and he's very careful. He's like holding the pan carefully, and he's just like, all right, okay, and puts them on the plate, and he's like, all right, that looks okay.
The table explodes.
Arrow flies out of the eggs.
There are no eggs. Oh god.
So
Okay.
has the farm always had kind of maintenance issues, or is that recent?
What?
The maintenance issues, has that been recent, or things kind of falling apart?
He's like, well, I'm not much of a handyman, to be honest. I'm a farmer.
Right, yeah.
I fix what I can, though. But yeah, no, I've had a bad year. A lot of tools have broken.
Well, I have some skill with fixing things.
I'll
like some
take you
help?
down to the room downstairs where I have all the broken tools. After breakfast, if you could give me a hand, that would be most appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try to help however I can. I don't know that much about fixing tools, but I can try.
What kind of mushrooms do you grow here?
He's like, oh, I've got plenty. I've got the white crowns and the red sizzlers, and he
red
just starts naming
sizzlers.
off mushroom names.
Mainly like for food, or do you have any medicinal mushrooms?
No, I don't grow too much in the way of medicinal mushrooms. I've got a few that are good if you end up with a cut or a burn, but I don't grow too many of them. There isn't much call for them around here.
Medicinal mushrooms.
A little bit of
Wink.
self-medication mushrooms.
Well, we no longer have our magic pickles, so
True.
That's true.
just trying to think ahead a little bit.
No, I use some of them in a poultice that I can make. But do any of you have a need for a poultice? Do any of you have any
Yeah, I
burns?
just lost 4 hit points falling
and
down the
bruises?
stairs.
Yeah, she does.
I'll see what I can do. He's going to go ahead and make a medicine check. And he
Saws your
fails.
arm off.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh.
say.
He's like, here you go, and he puts basically a paste of like smelly foul fungus on your arm, but you're not sure it does anything.
Thanks, I'll just have Pharasma help me with this one.
he's like, well, you got to give it time to work. It's not instantaneous, you know. It's going to take probably a day or two.
Younger generation. What with
Just
the...
leave this fungus on your arm for
Just
a
yeah,
while.
just pack it on there. You'll be fine. So after breakfast, he takes you all back downstairs, carefully navigating the now broken stairs. And he says, "Why don't you go back to your room? I'll bring some broken tools to you just in case anything unfortunate anyone stops by, so that you're hidden." So you're able to go back to your room, and he brings you. He comes over with a wheelbarrow.
Oh gosh.
That it in and of itself has one side that's kind of cracked and broken, but in it is like a number of broken shovels and the broken frying pan and a broken ladder and a whole bunch of like mostly wooden tools that are broken or snapped in some way. And he kind of just leaves them and he's like, "Well, whatever you could do would be most appreciated. I have to go upstairs and tend to me crops for the morning. Got to go and make sure that they're got to weed. And I'll bring Lassie with me, just in case she has an inkling to eat more of your food.
Okay.
Muffin-eating dog." And he goes, "Come on!" And the hound just kind of looks at him like, with tired, sad eyes, and just kind of follows him, pads silently behind him as he makes his way back up to the surface.
Okay.
So, you have a giant pile of tools. What would you like to do?
Fix them.
All right. Give me a craft check.
Ooh.
So that's going to be, I got rolled an 11, so it's going to be a 16.
All right, could you give me another check, please?
Are we all trying it?
It's going to be a 7.
Yeah, you start fumbling around with the tools, and you're like trying to put one back together, and you end up snapping the handle even worse
Dope.
than before.
Nope. I've got crafting.
Give it a shot. What's the worst that could happen? You break it worse? I already did
yeah.
that.
Oh, that is. Oh, math is hard. It is a 25.
25.
Yeah.
So this wood is actually really, it's like a nice pine. It's nothing amazing. It's not like oak or anything like that. But it's good, well-made wood, and you're able to kind of cut off one of the ends that's not in good shape and kind of refit it to the in the shovel, like
Mhm.
the sleeve for the pole. And you managed to fix it up quite well.
Woohoo.
You're not quite sure why these are all broken. It kind of doesn't make sense. There's a lot of tools here and the wood isn't like old. It's not cracked.
Yeah.
It's not rotted. They just snapped, and broke, kind of like all over the place. It's really odd.
So either he's cursed or he just doesn't know his own strength and is just. But that doesn't seem-
Can all of you give me a perception check?
Yes.
Rolled an 18, so that's going to be a 23.
Oh, I rolled a P2,
That's what I did the last
Uh,
one.
but
21?
that makes it a 6.
All right, so you have a 6, and the two of you have an 18 and a 21. But can the two of you roll again?
23.
Oh, sorry, 23 and a 21. Can both of you roll? Not you,
Not me.
not you, Mikah.
Not
Karina,
you, failure.
Karina, Zell. Can both
Fix
of you
better than a
roll?
dwarf.
Can both of you roll again?
16.
Oh, you're gonna beat me with that one. 11.
16. All right, so the 16 is the high here. You're not sure what, but it sounds like you heard. It almost sounded like from somewhere nearby in one of the caves, but it fades away really quickly.
Did you guys hear that?
Neither one of you heard a thing.
That
What
was
did it sound
weird.
like?
It almost sounded like giggling. Yeah.
Like Rathbun?
No.
He's just
It did not have an accent. No.
oh.
Wow.
Perfect.
Laughing in Rathbun. That's what if this episode had subtitles, it would be laughing in Rathbun right there.
Exactly.
So like one of them.
God.
Where did it come from?
I'm not quite sure. I could just barely hear it. Do we want to see? I mean, maybe I was just imagining things if y'all didn't hear it.
No, I trust your perception.
I trust your perception rolls.
I didn't say roll. I just said perception. Don't doubt yourself.
Well, maybe we should try and fix some more of these tools and then see what we can find.
Okay.
Sure. You spend some more time working on some tools. Can those of you who are making craft checks? Zell, what are you doing while they're trying to fix
Zell's
this
good at backflipping, stealthing, and stabbing. So he just kind of watches.
So just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, he's-
right.
You're just practicing your backflips.
He's gonna kind of, or he'll talk to Sabrina, who's also here.
Oh yeah.
So I got a 14, and I need to make 2 rolls.
Why don't you make another roll?
Yeah.
Just,
okay.
you know.
Just happen to need to do 2 rolls every time. Okay. The second roll is going to be a 22.
So you had a 14 and a 22.
Yeah.
All right.
I got a 13.
I think that's what I rolled the first time.
Yeah.
Do I need to roll again?
No.
Oh, okay.
So
I know exactly what's going on here. Karina doesn't, but I do.
Zell, can you give me a why don't you just give me a pair of perception checks? Why don't
Okay.
you make 2 of them? For no particular reason.
For no particular reason, 13
Yeah.
and 23.
Yeah. All right. So let's see what.
Is this
what
going back to that will save?
Sabrina. All right.
No, of course
So
not.
you're sitting there and you're fumbling around with tools, making no progress whatsoever. Every time you think you've got it fixed, it falls apart again.
Oh, no.
It just doesn't work.
You don't have to be good at fixing things just because you're a dwarf. Don't worry.
Mikah, you're having a bit more luck, but even you're not making too much progress. The two of you are trying to put back together a ladder, and the thing just keeps falling apart.
Okay.
And Zell, you're watching all of this with kind of rapt fascination when Sabrina, who is looking down one of the corridors. I think there's something down here.
Did you see something?
She says, "I'm not sure."
Karina's hand goes on her axe.
Sabrina draws her rapier.
Zell's like, stabbing.
That's one of the things I can do. Should I detect magic?
That sounds like a
Will that-
fantastic idea.
Will that?
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay.
Is there
I do
any
that.
reason why you wouldn't?
Well.
So,
I hate you all.
at your level, detect magic only detects the presence or absence
Yeah.
of magic, and the way you can cast it is you already know about the magic auras around all of you because you've done it multiple times. So you can kind of discount those when you cast and just see if there's anything new.
Yeah.
So you quickly, draw the spell to mind, perform the somatic and verbal components, and all of a sudden there's a sensation that there is magic somewhere nearby.
Okay. I can't get a sense of direction though, or
No, you can't. It doesn't give you any sense about where it is, other than the fact that it's within 30 feet.
okay.
It's somewhere nearby.
Okay.
Direction, strength, that's for a higher level.
Gotcha.
Detect magic. You're not quite there yet. But right now, there's magic in the air. You can feel it.
I could feel it coming in the air tonight.
Oh Lord.
So, you do that, and all of a sudden you hear kind of, as that pulses out, from like multiple different directions, you hear, and suddenly come bounding down the corridors.
Uh-oh.
And I say corridors because they're coming at you from different directions. Are these tiny little dog-faced creatures? They're no more than about a foot and a half tall. They're really quite small, and they are coming running at you with swords. They have tiny little ragged-looking blades in their hands, and they're like, and they come running up the corridors at you. I'm going to use these miniatures. These aren't quite right, but
When you say dog, do you mean like Chihuahua or like say a pug?
So I should clarify. They have humanoid bodies.
Okay.
So they have arms and legs, and they're running around. But they have kind of dog like snout faces, and tiny little pointed ears. And they come running up out of the corridors. These minis are not quite the right one. But put one 15 foot down each corridor that leads into this room. Because they are coming from multiple different directions.
Those look like little porcupines.
Yeah, no, like I said, they're not quite the right miniature. And in front of the one that is coming from the biggest passageway, there is something a little different. Yeah, and this one's right in front of that one. And this one looks similar to the others, but it is running up with a terrifying looking knife, and it's like as it comes running up with this blade.
It's extra murderous.
At this point, can I get everyone to roll me initiative?
Yeah.
And you can go ahead and roll perception.
Roll a 20.
But Carina and Zell, can both of you roll twice?
I had to do that to me when I finally rolled a 20, and then I rolled a 1.
Should I give you the lower?
Seriously.
You know what? Why don't you just go ahead and give me the lower result?
Okay.
That's fine.
9.
9. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put that over here. Karina, what do you
6.
have? A 6? Oh,
yeah.
that's
I had a
number.
25.
Did you? Oh, that's nice.
Well, that's great.
That's great. And
I need you at a 25,
a
not
22.
a 6.
So I'm just going to go put you way over.
Way over there.
So,
show
Mikah,
off.
you get to go first. So, your friends look totally surprised by this.
What are these murderous chihuahuas?
Yeah, I don't know what these are.
So, for the time being, this will be
They're
Sev,
horrible.
and she's going down there.
Hooray. Well, let's just see here. I honestly don't know how dangerous these are, so I'm not sure how strongly to react. Is there a check I can do to see if I know what they are?
Do you have nature? I mean, what skill would you like to try and identify them with?
Theater lore.
Theater lore. I mean, you can roll a theater lore check. I'm honestly not joking. You can use knowledges to find out things, but it only comes through the lens of what you're trying
Right,
to
yeah.
use. So, if you want to try theater lore, I'll let you spend an action
I mean,
to try
I've got
theater lore.
Arcana.
You could try that as well.
I'll try that. I mean,
Arcana
they're the
instead of-
same modifiers.
Instead
so.
of theater lore? Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
mean,
you're
if
not
you
convincing
insist.
me.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's a 6, so that's a 14. That's not
A 14.
great.
So, you're not 100% sure what these things are. They are clearly some sort of mischievous sort of fae, probably would be your guess. But you don't actually have any idea what they actually are.
Okay.
You just know that, like, looking at them through Arcana, you're like, that is not a creature of magic.
I have Fae Fellowship. Does that help me in this?
That gives you a bonus on what? Saves against fae stuff?
Yeah, I think it makes. Oh man, I can't remember right now.
Okay.
I think it makes it so that they're more easy for me to kind of diplomatize with, or like get them on our side.
These things look like they're getting ready to cut you to pieces. So.
Oh, you gain a +2 circumstance bonus to both perception checks and saving throws against Fae.
Ooh.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. And I can attempt diplomacy, so that probably
You could,
isn't
but
relevant
in this
at this
situation,
point.
yeah, it's not really going to play in.
Okay.
All right. So that was one of your actions. What would you like to do with the other two?
God, I think I will magic missile, I guess.
All right. Yeah, you can easily throw 2 magic missiles.
Yeah, so I'll do one at each in this corridor, I think.
So
One at
these
the
two.
two weird, the
Yeah.
weird one and the other one. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and you finish off the spell, and the missiles come swarming out of your fingers and slam into both of them, and they kind of as it hits them. Go ahead and deal damage.
I'll roll for the one in the back first.
Sure.
I rolled a 1.
So that's 2.
Yep.
Okay.
And
then the one in the front.
ooh, that was a 4.
So 5. All right. You unleash 2 magic missiles, and it hits them, and they kind of cry out in pain. All right. And they kind of scream.
I hate these things.
All
I don't know
right.
what they are.
Let's go ahead and have them all move around here. Let's start with that one. All right, so that one goes running straight up at 7. If you could put 7 one of those 4 squares.
No.
Sev is just lurking between squares. All right, so it goes running up to Sev and attempts to stab her with its short sword. But that's going to miss, and so is that. That is 2 terrible, terrible rolls. It swings twice, but Sev nimbly dances out of the way. Next up, let's do the one that's in the corridor by itself. And it's going to go and run into the square kind of adjacent to both Mikah and Carina. And it's going to go running up to there, and it's going to attempt to stab Carina. Armor class 15, I don't think is going to hit you.
No.
So then it's going to try and stab again. Wow, this die has suddenly decided to go very, very, very cold. Rolling 3s and 4s.
The curse extends.
Yeah, apparently. All right, now let's go have that little unique thing go running up to the square adjacent to both Zell and Mikah. So flanking Mikah. It goes running up there, and it does kind of do this.
Oh, that's horrific.
As it kind of hops
Good.
from foot to foot into the room, and as it lands there, it looks at the both of you with like bloodlust, and it's like ah, and then tries to stab Mikah.
Oh, good.
Like looks
So-
at me, stabs you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to be a 18 against your flat-footed armor class, so your armor class -2.
Yeah.
Assuming that's going to hit.
Yep.
Yeah, so Carina says, shame on you for hurting people without even any sort of telling us that you're here or just attacking random strangers. That's terrible of you.
It has decided to feel bad.
So, let's see.
Its ears kind of droop a
down
little.
there.
But it keeps stabbing.
But it's like, stabby.
So,
That's what I
unharmed
do.
by the triggering damage.
Oh, so I don't take damage?
No, that's its option. It can
Oh.
either deal no damage, or it takes penalties and deals damage as
Nice.
normal, but you get some resistance. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Equal to what? 2 plus level?
So ally gains resistant to all damage against the triggering damage equal to 2 plus your level. After the damaging effect is applied, the enemy becomes enfeebled or, because I have the next one up, stupefied. So.
Which one would you like to imply? Enfeebled or stupefied?
Which one are you choosing? No damage or damage with penalties?
I'm taking damage with penalties.
Oh, okay.
Rude.
Let's do stupefy 2
Okay.
until the end of its next turn.
It kind of cries out. All right.
I'm stupid.
You take 7 points of damage
Whoa.
minus 4, so that's reduced to 3.
Okay.
And then with its final action, it's going to attempt to stab you again. Oh, that is a 23 against your flat-footed.
So that's minus 2.
So
for
your
my
AC
regular?
minus 2 is what?
13.
So that's
that's
a
a crit.
critical hit.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You little jerk! And you're stupefied.
All right, so let's see.
You can
That's
be
going
stupid
to
and
be
enjoy a crit.
36.
It's his only joy in life.
Take 12 points of damage from that.
Ow.
hit.
Whoa!
Yeah, he
This tiny little jerk. I don't know
Yeah.
what I can say on the stream.
this one
You
is
such and such.
You said 17 points?
12.
Sorry, 12. Okay.
Yeah. The previous
I
one
was like,
did.
holy
The
crap.
previous one did. Was it 6 minus 4? So 2.
It was 3.
Oh,
it was
3,
7
okay.
minus 4.
7 minus 4. All right. So this one has like really long ears and a really like puckered little face. It doesn't have a dog kind of snout like the other ones do. This one is just has a mouth filled with razor sharp little teeth, and it's this gaunt little thing with this long dancing blade. And then lastly, the final one of the other ones is going to run up, and it'll go into that square next to Zell. It'll stop one further back because it doesn't. Yeah, it'll just go there. And it just kind of bounces up, laughing and cackling, and then attempts to stab you.
They're having a great time.
Armor class 23, I think, is going to hit.
Yeah, it's gonna hit.
Take 1 point of damage,
That's okay.
and then swings one last time, and that's going to be a 19.
That hits.
And that one's going to do 2 points of damage.
Should we get Rathbun? Does he know these things are in here?
I don't think he knows.
No. All right, that is them. Zell, it is your turn.
He's like, they're me wives. All right.
They are me wives. That's not what he's gonna say.
I forgot to tell you about them.
Live a sordid life here. All right, I'm gonna stab this one that's critting my friend.
All right.
'cause I don't
Yeah,
enjoy
that's
that. I'll
pretty
twin
rude.
feint him
Sure. You know what? And why don't you just roll twice and just take the lower number?
Okay.
Why would you do that? I don't
So-
understand why he would.
Still
have
got a
to do that.
23 on the first one.
Oh, that's definitely a hit.
Woo.
Yeah, not a crit, but it is a hit.
Boo. Let's see. I'm not fainting him, so don't get the. I don't get backstabby damage, right? Cause
No.
Yeah.
No.
No. Ooh.
That was a sound.
5 damage.
5. All
Bonus
right.
damage.
It kind of cries out in pain.
All right. Here comes the short sword, and he's flat-footed against this one.
Yeah.
So that should be. Oh.
Did you roll twice?
I did,
Oh,
and I'll
good.
take
2
the
dice
lowest
at a
one.
time.
Oh, good.
14.
14 is.
Or sorry, not 14. 10.
Yeah, that's
Even better.
That's gonna miss. Yeah, no, that's not gonna do it. You do still have a third attack.
Yep.
This one's at a huge penalty, and you have to roll twice.
And he's not flat-footed because I didn't hit him with
Yeah.
the twin feint. No.
All right. So Zell swings around rather inexpertly for Zell. It's kind of weird.
This guy's freaking me out.
Sev immediately plays one of her tunes to give everyone a +1 bonus on attack rolls,
That
and
will be
then
big.
attempts to hit the one in front of her, and she is going to hit for.
NPC All-Star.
No, it didn't do that much damage. And then is going to swing again, and 2 18s is pretty good.
Ooh.
All right, she is kind of an all-star right now. All right, but the one she's fighting is still up. It does look pretty badly hurt now. So that was her action. Carina.
Mikah, if you can, get behind me on
Okay.
when you have a chance to move. A 19 and a 20. There we go.
Ooh. Well,
so
that's
going
pretty good.
to be a 28 to hit this one here in front.
Ooh.
That is a critical hit.
Okay, so
You smushed him.
all right, so that's going to be, let's see, 1d8.
Yeah, your axe.
Yeah.
Yeah, just comes slamming right down in the center of its
Okay.
skull.
And can you help me remember what a critical does?
Just roll your damage, add it up as normal, and then double the result.
Okay. So 7 plus 4 is 11, so 22.
I'll take that one. You just split its head wide open. It falls to the. It just and then collapses to the ground.
Take the remains of that one.
That's it for that one. That was your
satisfying.
first action.
That was my first action.
Dang, yo.
I will. I guess I'll move 5 feet over. This is the second action.
Okay.
And make it easier for Mikah to get out of line of that guy. That thing.
Excuse me.
All right.
And kind of, it would be an action to talk to these things, right?
Well, you can kind of talk at them for free.
Okay.
But if you're trying to make like a skill check or something,
Well, I'm gonna,
diplomacy isn't going to work in the
Right.
middle of a fight, but you could try and intimidate them.
yeah. So having just like taken my axe and split that thing in two, I'll try and intimidate them and say, "Stop fighting us, or I'm going to do that to all of you."
Riding
All
high
right.
on adrenaline.
All right. Go ahead and give me an intimidate check. But why don't you roll twice and just tell me what you get.
That's going to be a 12.
He deserved it.
Wow.
Okay.
Is what the really mean, vicious, nasty little one says.
Okay.
A single tear rolls down from the other one.
Yeah.
The
right.
other
Was
one
my
like,
brother.
We're
All
trying
right.
as hard as we can.
Top of the order, Mikah.
Welp. Let's see. So, is it an action to like take out my staff?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, I'm wondering if it's worth it to take it out, whack at that little guy, and then try and move, or if I should just hide behind Carina and be like, pew pew spells.
It's up to you. I did just like totally splat one. So
Yeah.
So the one that stabbed you looks pretty badly hurt.
Okay.
I should note that. The other one that's back there doesn't look that badly hurt, and the
Yeah.
one over fighting Severina looks
Not at all.
kind of hurt.
Oh yeah, right, because she hit
Yeah.
it. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take out my staff. I'm gonna hold it in 2 hands. I'm gonna try and whack at him. Let's see. And I'm only rolling once, right?
Yeah, you're only rolling once.
Well,
so you
that's
draw your
nice.
staff and swing.
Oh, hey, there you go.
That'll be a critical hit, I'm sure.
Okay,
but
awesome.
no,
It's
your bonus is
25,
positive,
yeah.
so that's definitely a critical hit. And this is against the
Woo!
one that's already hurt, right?
The little one, yeah.
The really
The
mean,
one that
vicious,
stabbed me a
nasty
bunch.
little one.
The
Yeah,
different, the one that's different than the other ones.
yeah, the one that's kind of more nasty. It just looks more vicious.
Yeah.
I see your crit and crit you.
Yeah. Take that.
All right.
Oh, right. So
yeah,
I should
so-
roll damage now.
Yeah, no, that would help. Yeah.
All right.
The next step
Yeah.
is damage.
Since it's two-handed, I get a D8. instead of a
absolutely.
D4, so that's fun. 3.
3 doubled to 6.
Oh, right, yeah.
So 6.
Yep, and I don't think I have any. I don't think I add anything to it, so just 6.
Yeah, you don't have a strength bonus, right?
Bam.
All right. So you deal.
Oh wait, yes, no, sorry, strength 1.
Oh, so
So
instead of
it's-
3, it's 4 doubled to 8,
So okay.
which is enough to kill it.
Yay!
Yeah, you weren't going to kill it
Wow.
unless you had that strength bonus. All right.
Nice.
You
Pop.
conk it in the head, and it just goes and falls over. It's like he deserved it. Blunk.
Yes.
And then he falls over.
You
That's
deserved
for
it.
him. You still have one action.
Oh yeah, I do.
But you now are not adjacent to anything.
Yeah.
You can move.
I guess
You have a
I'll...
weapon out. You can provide
yeah.
a flank.
That's true. Well, can I?
Sure. You just need to get on the other side of it from...
There's a cave wall
Yeah,
there.
there's
Oh,
a
yeah,
cave
all right.
wall.
Never mind. I couldn't see.
Go
Yeah,
into the, like,
He's very-
meld with the
Just-
stone.
Yeah, just meld into
What
the
I'll
rock.
do is I'll flank Sev with the other monster.
Yeah.
It'll be great. Whatever, I'll just move up so that I can help
Alright.
beat this guy up.
Great.
That's it for
Okay,
me.
they go.
So moving there means I can't move there.
Oh.
But you can move through Zell. Remember, you can always
Oh,
move through
that's
allies.
true. Okay. Well, never mind then.
I'm just
Okay.
a pushover.
Just an FYI.
Get out of the way.
So, the one that
This
is
is
up there is
axe
going
work.
to swing at Zell. And it's going to get a 17.
That misses. By
Uh-huh.
1.
Then it swings again and gets a natural 20.
That would hit.
That's going to be a... let me check and see if that's a critical hit. That's going to be a 23, which does hit your armor class, so that is going to be a critical hit.
Ugh.
All right. So let me go ahead and deal that damage. Unfortunately, it's only 2.
Oh,
I rolled
unfortunate.
minimum.
That's pretty fortunate for us.
Well, it's fortunate for you. It's unfortunate for the poor little
Like,
monster.
ow, knock it off.
It's like and it stabs you somewhere, and it's like aha, and then it doesn't do much damage.
Your scales are kind of just like,
I kind of feel bad.
And then it's
for
going to
it.
swing its third time, and it's going to fail.
it's his first
the,
day.
The other one's I'm new here.
I'm in training.
The other one's going to attack Sabrina and is going to hit only once for 2 points of damage. All right. Okay. That was them. Their nasty friend gone. The rest of them do not seem to be dealing too much damage. Zell, it is your turn.
Sorry, little guy. I think you're in over your head, but let's do a twin feint and miss with a 1.
Oh, no.
Let's try that short sword.
You spin around wildly and flail about.
Oh, no.
Does an 8 hit?
No, it does not.
Let's try a third. Like, I'm just not feeling well today. That's a 1 again. Yeah.
No.
All right.
Your dice are
Zell-
fire.
Swords are just
Zell's swinging left and right and not managing to hit
like at a rave or something.
a damn thing. All right. Sabrina's going to go, and she will swing twice, and her first attack would have been a crit, but then it was not. So then she will attack
So I'm actually
second
good
time.
at flipping and sneaking.
Let's
16
take out the
plus-
stabbing part.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, she's going to hit the second time.
He just disoriented you when he stabbed you
all right,
a little bit.
Yeah.
Sabrina has managed to dispatch the one over
Oh,
on
nice.
her.
Awesome.
And
Thanks,
with her
Bev.
third action, she will perform again and give everyone a +1 to hit. Don't forget about that.
Yes.
That was Sabrina. Last in the order, Carina. There's only one of these things
Yes.
left.
Okay.
Get him.
Move through Zell. Move over to the other side there. And
Get out of the way.
I'm going to try to
Door
intimidate again.
Okay.
I'm going to say, all of your friends are dead. You need to stop fighting in here. There is a beautiful city full of people who deserve bad luck very
Oh,
nearby.
I like that.
Go ahead and give me an intimidate check.
So 19 and a 9. So it's going to be a 14.
It's like, they weren't my friends anyway.
Meh.
I
Okay,
never
so
learned the value of friendship.
My last action, I will smack it.
All right.
With the flat end of your axe.
Oh my gosh. So that doesn't gonna hit. That's
Ooh.
a 3, so
No.
11.
Yeah, it's not going to do it. He's like, you think you can hit me with that?
oh, 12 actually.
It's like the brains of his former comrade on it.
Mikah.
I'm not scared of you.
I mean, you've killed all my friends, but I'm not afraid.
I like his confidence.
I'm different.
We should get him to teach confidence to Rathpen.
Oh, man.
Ah, no.
Oh.
Maybe that's what they've been trying
All right.
to do.
Mikah.
I'm gonna try and whack him with my staff.
Okay.
19?
Hit.
Actually 20 because the +1, so.
That is a hit.
Hey. Okay. And that is.
This one's taking a little bit of damage.
I was like, is that a 7 or a 1? It's a 7. So 8 damage.
Ooh. Now it looks pretty badly hurt.
Out of the way, Rogan champion.
Yeah, move!
Got some wizard hand-to-hand to do.
I mean, who needs spells when
Yeah.
I've got a stick?
I've got a giant stick for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just gonna keep whacking it then.
Yeah. You do still have your arcane focus, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we rested and everything,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it
With
should
the
be good.
satisfaction of
Like, I
breaking
mean, I
his
could
bones.
do a spell. I could do a spell.
I mean, you could also swing. You have 2 more actions. So.
Yeah,
You've
I'm
been
gonna-
doing pretty good with that.
Honestly,
I'm
yeah.
Impressed.
Okay,
Karina's
so-
very impressed.
Let's see. So it's minus. What's the? It's minus.
It's minus 5. Go
Okay.
ahead. Go ahead and roll.
Okay. So that would be, with the +1, it's gonna be 18. No, yes, 18.
Hit.
Woo! Nice.
Go ahead and roll damage again.
Boop. 5. Dead yet?
No, it's still alive, but just barely. It looks
Oh,
really badly
man.
hurt.
I feel like there's no way I'm gonna hit with the third one,
Well,
but I will
you can try.
Yeah.
Here
Look
we
at
go. Is that a 6 or 9? That's a 6.
I
It's
don't
like
think
minus.
it's gonna matter.
Yeah, so that's an 11.
No, that's not good enough. All right.
Wah, wah.
It goes, and being now on the very precipice of death, and seeing all of its friends dead, you may not have succeeded with Intimidate, but it now understands how bad of a situation it is in, and it's going to run for it. Does anyone have attack of opportunity? I think anybody
I
does.
don't
think
think
so.
so.
No fighter in the group, and no
No.
one's taking it. All right. So it's going to bolt.
All right.
It just goes running out of this cave. And
That
Should've
way.
just
that-
spelled
it goes
to
it goes
death.
running off that way.
All right. To some location.
So, it goes bolting away, and unless someone's giving chase,
Can we try? I mean,
if you want.
I just used all my actions.
Can I yell at Sev to go get Rathbun?
Can we yell at the owl?
Ooh.
So folks begin running off. If no one's chasing it, we'll drop out of combat.
Well,
I feel like we should chase it.
yeah.
Can you just go around the corner and magic missile it?
But then, on the other hand, Rathbun probably knows his caves and could maybe help us, like, determine if there's anywhere it could go. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's getting away while we discuss it.
Yeah. So the
Do we
group,
want
I'm just
chase it?
sorry.
No.
I'm
so the group of you stops to go. Should we chase it?
Yeah.
And as you're sitting there thinking about it, you're not sure where it's gone.
Yeah.
A few moments later, Sev comes back with Rathbun.
Okay.
And Rathbun's like, what's all this trouble about? Sev came and told me that there was some sort of nasty beastie down here. And he looks down on the ground to see them. And he's like, what is... Oh, no. And he kind of looks. And
My
he's like,
children.
oh, I didn't know I had pugwampies in me basement.
Pugwamp.
Oh, yeah, no, cursed little things. I killed one about a month ago. And I thought it was just an off occurrence. Took it to town and they identified it. I don't really know what they are, but I heard that they're cursed. You found this down in my basement.
They found
Yeah.
us.
Oh,
You might have an infestation.
that's a very serious problem. We should talk to Mother Olanari about this. Maybe she can help us.
The last one got away, but we don't know where it went. You...
I was just about to come down here and get you. Mother Olanari has just arrived.
Oh.
Let's go talk to her.
Yeah. Is there other exits to these caves?
There'll be a few, yeah.
Oh.
So, Rathbun escorts you back upstairs, where Mother Olanari is waiting, sitting in one of the broken chairs. And she's like, friends, I'm so glad to see that you are well. And Rathbun explains that he found more blasted pugwampies down in my basement. And she's like, oh, I told you to take a better look around for them. And he's like, I did, I couldn't find any. And now you're starting to realize why, because he's been cursed this whole time. And kind of unable to do anything.
Yeah,
now.
it makes it really hard.
Yeah. And she just, Mother Olanari, scratches her head and kind of looks to all of you and says, well, thank you for helping out my friend here. We will have to fumigate, she kind of shrugs, and see if we can't rout out these nasty little fae. But I came with good news. My friend was not as far away as I thought. I've already received word back from one of my messengers, and he should be able to be here in just a day or two. I am looking forward to introducing you to Professor Nicodemus. He should be here in just a few days.
Okay.
Oh, thanks.
What an auction.
Can I suggest with the Pugwumpies, maybe sending them off to some friendly priest of Rasmir?
She gives you a wry smile. Now that is not a bad idea. And that is where we're going to wrap up today, everybody. Thank you so much for watching the Oblivion Oath. Remember, we are off next week for Gen Con and the launch of Pathfinder 2nd Edition. But make sure to tune back in tomorrow, as we'll be discussing the game here on the Paizo Twitch. Remember as well that this coming Tuesday will be on Knights of Everflame on the Geek and Sundry Twitch channel. So make sure to tune in. We will see you all next time, everybody. If you're at Gen Con, stop by and say hi.
Yeah.
We'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.